Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're here, I'm guessing you're tired of dealing with the burning, the pain, and the discomfort of stomach ulcers. Well, today, we're diving deep into the foods that could be making it all worse. The very foods that might be preventing your stomach ulcer from healing. So, if you want relief, keep watching to find out which foods you need to cut back on or avoid entirely. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of our videos on health and wellness. Ready to get started? Let's go. Quick background on stomach ulcers. First, let's do a quick background on what stomach ulcers really are. Ulcers are open sores that develop on the inside lining of your stomach. They're usually caused by an infection with a bacteria called Helicobacter pylori, or by long-term use of anti-inflammatory drugs, like ibuprofen or aspirin. Now, the reason stomach ulcers hurt so much? Well, it's because the protective lining of your stomach has been worn down, leaving the stomach tissue exposed to your own digestive acids. If you eat the wrong things, you're just adding fuel to that fire. Introduction to the foods. All right, now that we know what's going on inside, let's talk about the foods that can make stomach ulcers worse. We've got a list of foods that you should either avoid or limit if you want to give your stomach the best chance to heal. We'll go over each food, why it's harmful, and I'll even offer a few alternatives along the way. Foods to avoid for ulcer healing. Caffeinated drinks, e.g. coffee and soda. Yes, that morning coffee might be doing more harm than good for your stomach ulcer. Caffeine can stimulate the stomach to produce more acid, which can irritate an already sensitive lining. So if you're serious about healing, consider switching to caffeine-free options, like herbal tea. Spicy foods. Spicy foods contain compounds like capsaicin that can irritate the stomach lining, increasing acid production, and potentially worsening ulcer symptoms. Try milder seasonings like ginger or turmeric. They're gentler on your stomach and even have anti-inflammatory properties. Alcohol can erode the stomach's lining, making it more susceptible to ulcers. If you have an ulcer, it's best to avoid alcohol altogether. If you're at a social event, opt for a mocktail or sparkling water with a twist of lemon. It looks festive and won't disrupt your healing process. Acidic foods, e.g. citrus fruits and tomato-based products. These are high in natural acids, which can make your ulcer symptoms flare up. Opt for non-acidic fruits like bananas, apples, and pears. They're easy on the stomach and can even help neutralize excess acid. Chocolate contains both caffeine and theobromine, which can trigger acid reflux and worsen ulcer symptoms. If you're craving something sweet, try a small piece of honey or a handful of berries instead. Fried foods. They're high in fat, which can slow down digestion, increase acid production, and cause discomfort. If you're craving something crispy, consider baking or air frying. Your stomach will thank you. Carbonated beverages. The bubbles in carbonated drinks can expand in your stomach, creating pressure that can worsen ulcer pain. If you want something refreshing, try cold water with cucumber or a splash of coconut water. Red meat. Red meat can be harder to digest and can increase stomach acid production, which might irritate the ulcer. Instead, opt for lean proteins, such as chicken, turkey, or fish, which are easier on the stomach. Dairy products. If you have a stomach ulcer, dairy products might affect you in different ways depending on your body and the type of ulcer. Here are some things to consider about dairy products for ulcers. Milk. Although milk was traditionally recommended for ulcers to soothe the stomach lining, it's now thought that milk can stimulate the stomach to produce more acid, which may worsen ulcer symptoms. Whole milk and high-fat milk are more likely to increase acid production, so they should generally be avoided or consumed in small quantities. Low-fat dairy. Low-fat or fat-free milk, yogurt, and cottage cheese are often better tolerated by people with ulcers. These may have a more soothing effect on the stomach, without causing as much acid production. Yogurt and probiotics. Plain unsweetened yogurt with live probiotics can be beneficial for ulcer patients. Probiotics promote gut health and help balance the bacteria in your stomach, which can support healing and reduce symptoms, especially if the ulcer is due to H. pylori infection. Cheese. Hard cheeses and high-fat cheeses might trigger stomach acid production, so they are best consumed in moderation. Opt for lower-fat cheeses if you want to include cheese in your diet. Lactose sensitivity. If you're lactose intolerant, dairy products may cause digestive upset and exacerbate symptoms. In this case, lactose-free options are a better choice. Processed meats. For people with stomach ulcers, processed meats should be approached cautiously because they're often high in fat, salt, and preservatives, which can irritate the stomach lining and delay healing. However, if you want to include meat in your diet while managing a stomach ulcer, here are some guidelines. Choose lean meats. Opt for lean, unprocessed meats like skinless chicken, turkey, or lean cuts of pork and beef. These are less likely to irritate your stomach compared to fatty or heavily processed options. Avoid processed and cured meats. Avoid processed meats like bacon, sausage, ham, and salami, which often contain high levels of salt, spices, and preservatives. These can be harsh on your stomach. Gentle cooking methods. Grill, bake, or steam meats instead of frying, as frying adds fats and oils that can trigger acid production and worsen ulcer symptoms. Portion size. Stick to small portions to avoid overloading your stomach, which can lead to discomfort and increased acid production. Limit red meat. If you do consume red meat, try to limit it and choose the leanest cuts. Red meat is more difficult to digest and can increase stomach acid. Monitor seasoning. Avoid spicy seasonings or acidic marinades like vinegar or citrus-based, as these can irritate ulcers. Opt for mild herbs like parsley or basil. Hydrate and balance your meals. Drink plenty of water and aim for balanced meals with fiber-rich foods like vegetables and whole grains, which support digestion and can soothe the stomach lining. Large, heavy meals. For people with a stomach ulcer, large and heavy meals can be challenging because they can irritate the stomach lining and cause discomfort. Instead, eating smaller, balanced meals more frequently can help manage symptoms. However, if you're looking for a meal that feels satisfying yet gentle on the stomach, here are some ideas for a heavier meal that remains ulcer-friendly. Creamy vegetable soup with rice or potatoes. Ingredients: carrots, potatoes, celery, squash, zucchini, and low-acid vegetables. Cook in low-sodium broth, adding a bit of milk or a dairy alternative for creaminess. Tip: avoid spices like pepper and hot seasonings that can irritate ulcers. Baked salmon with mashed sweet potatoes. Ingredients: salmon is a gentle protein with healthy fats, and sweet potatoes are easier on the stomach than white potatoes. Tip: bake the salmon with a bit of olive oil and herbs like parsley and thyme. Avoid acidic sauces like lemon or tomato-based ones. Turkey or chicken with quinoa and steamed veggies. Ingredients: lean, tender turkey or chicken breast with fiber-rich quinoa and low-acid steamed vegetables like carrots, zucchini, and green beans. Tip: use low-sodium broth when cooking quinoa and avoid adding sauces that contain vinegar or citrus. Oatmeal with banana and almond butter ingredients. Whole grain oatmeal topped with sliced bananas and a spoon of almond butter for protein. Tip: bananas are easy on the stomach and can help coat the lining, reducing irritation. Lentil and rice pilaf ingredients. Lentils are a good source of fiber and protein, and when combined with rice, they provide a complete protein. Tip: cook lentils and rice with low-sodium broth and mild spices like cumin or turmeric, which can be gentle on the stomach. These meals feel hearty but are easier to digest, and they include ingredients that are less likely to trigger discomfort. Always avoid spicy, acidic, or fried foods, and consider eating smaller portions more frequently throughout the day to reduce strain on your stomach. So, that's our list of foods that you might want to avoid if you're dealing with a stomach ulcer. Remember, the goal isn't to deprive yourself, but to choose foods that promote healing. What to eat instead? Before we wrap up, let's talk about some foods that can actually support your stomach's healing process. Some great choices include bananas. They're easy on your stomach and even help coat it. Oats, gentle and filling. Sweet potatoes, packed with nutrients and low in acid. Healing a stomach ulcer takes time and patience, but with the right foods, you're giving your body the best chance to recover. Remember, everyone's body is different, so listen to yours and adjust as needed. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. We're here every week with tips and tricks for a healthier, happier you.